Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 2021 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you want to help this channel out, which I would be greatly appreciative of, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin the reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Taurus be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. Think of this spread like a tree. These are the branches, this is the bark, and our roots for this time. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. We have the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. The brilliant start. Inwardly, we're really going for it, and that's absolutely amazing. We have the Hangman and the Moon. So the Moon is going to play a powerful role over our hearts, and this makes sense. This full moon is in Sagittarius. This is the most kind of benevolent, non-judgmental, loving moon. It gives us a lot of optimism, and we really start to see things differently. There's fear, though, with that optimism and with the beauty that we're embracing during this time. And then in the public arena, we have the King of Wands, and of course the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands are looking right at each other, like right across the way at each other, over the fear of what's to come within the heart. So it can be that in love, in our inner selves, in the public arena, we're not really sure where our hearts are going to be taking us during this time. We're going to be hyper successful and very, very, very focused. The King of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Queen and King of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, amplifying the full moon in Sagittarius, which is really going to be giving us that gift during this time. Also, whenever I have the King and the Queen from the same deck, from the same suit, you have a soulmate connection, a true love connection. There's power here. And it doesn't mean that it has to be romantic. It means that there's something that's evolving. There's a way that's coming forward that almost feels like it's coming home. We have the Page of Cups, again, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. At our roots, we are a child, we are a learner, a discoverer. We can also have a child, a water sign energy, or just a child that's very loving, very kind of cuddly, very sweet. giving us advice that we sit there and we just look at them and we're like, oh my goodness, you shouldn't be this wise type of deal. And then with the magician, there's magic. There's this sense of standing before the altar of our existence, saying, this is me. This is what I want. This is where I'm headed. This is what I desire. And it really is opening up the door in a very real way, but also in a way we hadn't seen coming. This moon has this certain level of beauty and understanding to it. Now, this is called the flower moon, named by the Native Americans because of the flowers that bloom in May. So it really is a beautiful moon. It is an opening moon, a discovering moon. It is also the biggest moon of the year and bringing the most energy forward. It is the second supermoon, and it is going to be the moon that is closest to the Earth in 2021. So it really does have a lot of power to it. This is also a rare blood moon with a lunar eclipse, the first lunar eclipse of the year. And this moon is just amplified by this lunar eclipse. And the full moon in Scorpio says, look at the bigger picture. And that's what we're going to be doing during this time. Scorpio is ruled by benevolent Jupiter. And now is the time for laughter rather than judging. Now is the time for optimism and, kind of this open curiosity and this place of positivity. It's a laid-back attitude and a seeking and a soul for adventure, along with this desire for wisdom and contemplation and greater understanding. We want to be idealistic during this time, very much so. But because we want to be idealistic, we have to be very mindful of how much our emotions are being played, are getting the better of us, because the lunar eclipse will bring us, and the lunar eclipse here, it says conclusions are within reach with the full moon eclipse. Yes, they are. But the full moon also makes things come to a head because it's in Sagittarius, this makes us look at truth. Truth is just going to be of the utmost importance to us. So where do we need profound change? Where have we become complacent? Where have we kind of put on blinders? Because the supermoon amplifies the energy and brings to us what we are attracting. Remember, with the magician, as above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. And that's what this moon is all about. It's about believing, it's about becoming, it's about owning, it's about this sense of something more. Now, the moon is in Sagittarius and the sun is in Gemini. And these are highly inquisitive signs, but they're also sister signs. So they play off each other. The energy plays off each other, complements each other, empowers each other, annoys each other, pushes each other. It's going to be that dynamic during this time. Now, with the lunar eclipse, this will greatly affect Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. So be mindful of where this energy is within your chart, or if you're born on the cusp with Gemini, because this is going to come out more within your personality during this time. The solar eclipse, which is on the 10th of June and in Gemini, is going to have us, it's going to bring new beginnings, but it's also going to bring the sense of the unexpected. And we kind of feel that within this full moon. The unexpected, the unprepared starts kind of coming forward. And during this time, Jupiter is squared, the moon is squared Jupiter, there it is. And this makes us need to be very mindful of the news and the revelations that come our way, because what is coming forward is going to, again, play off our emotions, and it's going to be exaggerated. So when looking at things, we're really going to want to see things justly and rightly, but we're also going to want to step back and have that laid back, adventurous wisdom being a part of us, not getting swept away in the emotions, not letting the fire in the Sagittarius energy, which is a fire sign, ignite, because we have so much fire here within our reading. We have so much passion guiding us forward. It's time to be adaptable. It's time to be, immutable, like Sagittarius is, malleable, being able to form and expand and become. Now, with the new moon in Gemini, as Spirit was saying before, this brings us to this place, and it's also because Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces are going to be the most affected with the solar eclipse. The unexpected starts coming forward, and this is what's brought to a head. This is what first comes to our mind. Yeah, the unexpected comes first in our mind and then in our life. It's almost going to be like we think it and then it comes forward. It says here communication is key. Looking at the bigger picture, around the 10th of June, at the 10th of June, communication is key, but we're going to find that we think something and then it starts to happen. So if we think, wow, I hope I don't say this stupid thing, and then we wind up saying it, we're going to beat ourselves up because we're going to think, oh, wow, I thought not to do that. And this is going to be a time where we have to just be a bit kinder to ourselves. Spirit is really showing this. And then on the 24th of June, we have the full moon in Capricorn. And this is the end of a tough cycle approaches because we're looking at the bigger picture. We're getting things all worked out. We're looking at things more openly and more honestly for ourselves. And here, this is the planning, the passion, the communication. Now we want the tangible results. Now we're going to start to see the tough cycle coming to an end, and we're going to start to see ourselves really looking at what we're planting, what we desire, what we want, what we need within our lives. Now, the spirit animal energy for May is the beaver spirit and the elk spirit. Now, the beaver spirit says lay a solid foundation, and the beaver spirit represents a time of trusting our creative energy, trusting our own creativity and accomplishment through cooperation, through communication, and jump-starting, just taking that leap of faith, which leads to the stand-in for the elk, because I do not have an elk in my cards. The stag spirit, which says take the leap. Take the leap because the elk spirit says that we're entering into a time of plenty. Everything you need, you will get. And that's going to be a little bit tricky because everything we need, we get. Not everything we want, we get. It moves us to the spirit animals of June. And the spirit animals of June are the deer spirit and the eagle spirit. Now, the deer spirit says, bring a gentle touch. There's going to be so much about this time that needs kindness, compassion, understanding, gentleness, not rage and anger, and one person screaming louder than the other, and then the other person trying to scream louder than that one. Enough is enough. This is a time where we step back and say, I'm not joining your wars. I'm not joining your pettiness, your arguments, the endless fighting. I'm not. I'm stepping back and I'm connecting with me and what is rightfully mine. And I am empowered and emboldened because I am connecting with spirit in such a way that it brings this gentleness, it brings this caring, it brings this compassion, which is so lacking in our world. It brings it forward. And the deer spirit is sensitivity and intuition and gentleness and fertility. So what we are creating during this time has a bit of life to it. It gets caught up in this almost like, it's like breathing life into somebody. It's like the stardust coming forward. It gets caught up in this beautiful creation, understanding, power. And in Buddhism, the deer is a symbol of harmony, happiness, peace, and longevity. And that's what we're embracing during this time. This is a moon of optimism. This is a moon that we want amplified because it's a moon that makes us happy. It's a moon that makes us step back and look at things. The eagle spirit says spirit has your back, and it most definitely does. The eagle spirit is all about leadership and authority. With the Native Americans, it is the bird that is closely linked to the Creator because it is seen as the messenger of the Creator. And this is a symbol of courage, strength, and wisdom. So knowing that spirit has our back, because spirit is the eagle spirit is literally guiding the messages from the Creator to us, empowering us, emboldening us. That's a game changer for this time. That's a game changer for us. It leads us to our chakra message. And let's see here. What is the chakra message for Taurus? Taurus. How will Taurus be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Balance. Balance is going to be important. The root chakra, the sense of sacred feminine, sacred masculine energy, the sense of what I want and what I'm seeking and what I long for coming forward. There's power here, there's understanding, there's greater purpose. It's funny because during this full moon, with Jupiter square, this is a wonderful time for creation. This is a wonderful time for our visions, for our amplifying of ideas. This is the time to fall into balance with ourselves, to create, to embrace, to strengthen. And at our root chakra, at our root, is this need for the balanced understanding of who we are and where we stand. Not who we will be and what we once stood for, but who we are and where we stand right now. It leads us to being a student of our heart, a student of our soul, a student of inspiration and love and ideas and greater understanding. We're going to find that our ideas and insights come from the most unlikely of places. And that's something we're going to be okay with. It's like, yes, bring it on. Bring it on that I am inspired by the whispering of the wind. Bring it on that I see things differently than everybody else. And this moon is just so greatly affecting our hearts. And it's so amplifying our passion and our prosperity and our abundance that at times we're going to forget to check in emotionally because we're going to think, I got this. I have this lucky star with me. But if we don't check in emotionally, if we don't communicate, we're not going to see the full extent of the power that lays before us. And then we have the magician. The magician is magic. We have magic here on our side. It is a sense of being able to stand before the altar of our existence, being able to stand in front of who we are and what we want and what we desire, and saying, this is me. This is where I'm going. These are my gifts. This is what I'm making my world out of. I'm holding passion. I'm holding creativity. We have 4 wands in our hands. All right? This is a time where we start to see that there is passion and fire and ideas, but there is magic to us. That there's that proverbial magic wand that comes into play. This sense of taking what we are understanding and running with it, evolving with it, becoming a part of it. There's this eternity to us. And that eternity is our thoughts, is our manifestation of our reality, is the opening up of our greater understanding. And this opens up our eyes in a way that we hadn't anticipated. As above, so below. As we believe it, so we become. And what we're going to find is, especially amplified by the lunar eclipse, this energy of mindful creation, this energy of the law of attraction starts to come into play. And we can get mad at the law of attraction, most definitely, and say, oh, just because I visualize it does not mean it comes. I visualize being rich. I visualize being happy. I visualize being in a great relationship. And it isn't here yet, so it's all a bunch of nonsense. It's not. It takes time, first and foremost. And what we visualize, sometimes with the next thought that comes into our heads, we negate it. It takes time to build something magnificent. It takes time to embrace our purpose and our potential, standing before the altar of our existence, being able to stand up for ourselves with others looking, because all souls' eyes are on us, and be able to say, this is me. I'm learning. I'm seeing things in a different light. I'm gathering my inspiration in a way that I hadn't imagined. It then leads us in our inner self to seizing this gift of prosperity, abundance, bounty, creativity, passion. It's that fertile energy coming forward, and it's taking it, and it's saying, this is me. This is me standing tall within my life, going after what I want. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands us the gift of the Ace of Wands and then puts it in our hand as the magical queen, as the sorcerer empress. We sit there and we take this gift and we start to see a new dawn, a new day. We start to see a new path. It doesn't matter if nobody else gets the path that we are walking, the place that we are headed, the ideas that we are bringing forward. It matters that we get it. It matters that we hold on to it. And we say, this is who I am. This is what I want. And this is what I need. And there's a fierceness. There's a greater understanding. There's an intensity to us that is opening up the door. And this is a time in our inner selves where we don't need to be seen by everybody. Inwardly, it's like, don't see me, don't see me. See me, see me. I mean, that's fine. But in a public arena, we are being seen. So Taurus, this is a time where we are looked at, emotionally, passionately, where we are judged, by the way people are interpreting us, taking us in. But inwardly, that's not what we're here for. If we get into the game of, oh, well, people have to see me like this, and people have to see me like this, and I have to be, this or that, that's going to start to mess up the success that's coming in. Because it's not about being seen, it's about being focused. And with the Queen of Wands, I always see the queens as the directors behind the scenes and the kings as the actors upon the stage. This is a time where we look inward, we go after it, and we are fierce beyond reckoning. This is a time where we hold nothing back. And we really look at ourselves and say, this might not be the path that others will take, but this is the path that I will walk. This might not be the decision that others will make, but this is the decision that I make for myself. And it changes our ideas. This moon, in one way or another, is changing our ideas, calling forward our prosperity, and opening up the door in a way that we hadn't anticipated and that we hadn't seen before. The passion comes. The wands are the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. They're the creativity, they're the insight, they're the ideas, and the hangman sees everything differently. So what we bring to the table is a different sense, a different viewpoint. Our heart isn't seeing things the way that we thought our heart would, or that people think our heart should. The moon is greatly affecting our emotions, so do be mindful of extra sensitivity during this time. Do be mindful of things just hitting a little bit more home. People saying things and we're taking them to heart. They might not be meant to be taken to heart, but we ourselves are taking them to heart, and we can feel overwhelmed as much as we have this laid back, attitude that Sagittarius is bringing. If we have stress, if we have, chaos within our lives, the laid back attitude isn't going to be helpful. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be like, oh, yeah, sure, I think that I can just, coast by, or I think I can just take time off, and I can't, and what the heck is wrong with me? And all of a sudden we start berating ourselves. The moon brings up during this time fears that we hold within our heart, the way that we see things differently, and the way that we think that it's wrong. The fact that we kind of want to fit in, as all human beings do. We're social creatures. We're made to fit in. And yet our world tells us to stand out, but not too much, and it's hard. This is saying, be who it is that we are meant to be. Embrace it, understand it, grow with it, and it will grow with us. This is a time where the moon starts highlighting the points where we need to be honest with ourselves. And it's being honest within our hearts. It's looking at things in a very different way, through very different eyes, and with a sense of compassion. And it brings us to being a king in the public arena, a king of passion and creativity, a king of emotions and love and compassion. But we have the king and the queen of wands in the inner self and in the public self. So the public self is seen. And inwardly, again, we don't need that. We don't need everybody to turn their head towards us and give us praise, though it is always nice. What we need here is to know that publicly we're also transforming. We're taking the wisdom that we have acquired throughout our life and having it transform into, the knowledge that we have acquired throughout our life, and having it transformed into the wisdom that we live by. And there's this fierceness, there's this lion's protection of who we are and who we are becoming. The black cat crosses our path. It's good luck, but it's also showing us what's important to us. It's calling us forward in a way that we didn't think. And so here, the King of Cups and the King of Wands are at each other's back. Now, it can be that emotionally in the public arena and career-wise or, creatively in the public arena, we are going in different directions. And that can be the case, that emotionally and passionately, we have to become on the same page. So that can be something that needs to be looked at. But what we're also going to see here is that we have our backs. Our passion has our emotions back, and our emotions have our passions back. And this is a time where we can seem to others to really be confident, secure, powerful, and insightful. We are transforming passionately, but we are also saying, I earned this. I earned where I stand, and I earned what I stand for. There is nothing that is going to hold me back, that is going to silence me, and that is going to deny me. With our emotional self, with the King of Cups, this is a time where we are saying, I lead by example. I rule only me. And that is the only person I want to rule. Emotions are going to be running high at times. And it's going to be the sense of stepping back and saying, I can get mad, but what's the point? I can be frustrated, but where does that get me? And how do I get myself from point A to point B with the most success and the most prosperity possible? How do I realign what I am looking for and what I desire? Because there's a sense here that we've kind of gotten off track. That that I'm just seeing the wheels. Yeah, the wheels of the cart are off track, and we have to pull over. We have to step back, and we have to see, because the passion comes in and the gift comes in mainly to our inner self, but we see it coming in to the public arena very, very intensely. And there's a fear of being different. There's a fear of letting our heart shine. There's a fear of being as confident as we want to be. This is a time where we look that fear dead in the eye and say, I'm still going for it. I'm standing before the altar of my existence, and nothing and no one is going to stop me. There's passion, there's creativity, there's insight, there's prosperity here. And I'm embracing that because it is guiding me forward. It moves us now to going more deeper. So what is the gift? More deeper. Going deeply into this. What is the gift that Taurus is getting? What is the gift that Taurus is getting? What is the gift that Taurus is getting? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, that's so funny. So the gift of the Ace of Wands, the gift of passion, creation, and creativity is coming first and foremost to the mind. So it's going to be cutting through a lot of doubts and a lot of fears. We have the Ace of Swords right here. So the gift that you are getting is a gift of knowledge, a gift of understanding, a gift of realizing I've put in my 10,000 hours. I am an expert, and I get to embrace that expert ideology. I get to embrace my expertise, and I get to open up the door, and I get to empower and embolden myself. And so here, with this gift coming in, and it's so funny because I was asking to see what the gift that the Ace of Wands was giving, but I should have made that question a bit more specific, because the gift that is being given is, we literally got shown the gift that is coming in, and it's the gift of knowledge. So it's the gift of passion, it's the gift of creativity, and apparently it's going to come forward in a multitude of different ways, but it's going to come through, cutting through a lot of preconceived notions, cutting through a lot of negative self-speak that was going on, and having us focused with the breath, with the creation that we are bringing forward, with our ideas, and with our own power. So let's see what the moon has to say with this. How does the moon affect the gifts that are coming to Taurus? How does the moon affect the gifts that are coming to Taurus? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Pleasure. So the moon affects the gifts that are coming to Taurus because we're able to experience them on a heightened level. Everything is amplified. So the way that we speak to ourselves, negatively or positively, amplified. The emotional connection we have with the moon, amplified. Whether it bring out the positive aspects of that or the negative aspects, everything is amplified. The gifts that are coming forward, amplified. To bring pleasure, to bring creation, to bring insight, to bring ideas, to push the envelope, to have us seeing things differently than we had seen them before. So this pleasure, this sensuality, this erotic understanding of the moon in ourselves, how does this affect Taurus? So this pleasure, how does this pleasure affect Taurus? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. It shows the world the real you with the full moon in Aquarius right here. Show the world the real you. It's time to say, this is me, this is what I want, and this is where I'm going. This is what I find pleasurable in life. This is what I don't. But let's look at the fears that come forward as we see the world differently. What are the fears that come forward as we embrace the different way we see the world? What are the fears that come forward for Taurus as we embrace the different way we see the world? What is the fears that come forward for Taurus? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. the King of Cups and the Six of Cups. So the King of Cups is, again, being ruler of our own world, saying, this is me, this is what I rule, this is what I want, this is who I am. So the King of Cups is going to be very important to us emotionally, which makes sense because cups represent our emotions. The Six of Cups are the baggage that we carry from childhood, the dreams that we hoped that would come true, and also the negative words that started to stifle those dreams, that started to make us feel weak and scared and question who we are. So it's going to be that sense of, this is who I am. I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm powerful. This is who I am. I'm weak, I'm afraid, I'm shaking in my boots, I'm doubting. We are going to be both. And the fear is that we won't choose the right one. Here's the thing. We can be terribly scared and terribly overwhelmed. We just cannot let that fear rule us. The words from the past that caused us doubts, that gave us poor coping mechanisms, that made us, need to go and speak to somebody, they do not get to define us for our whole entire lives. It is enough. We have given them enough time and enough effort. Now it is time to remember the dreams that we had when we were small. And the world, well, it could be anything. And to embrace the power of who we are. So how will the moon play off our emotions during this time? How will the moon play off our emotions during this time? How will the moon play off Taurus emotions during this time? How will the moon play off Taurus emotions during this time? Angels and spirit guides. Ooh. Peace. It will give us peace. It will give us tranquility and understanding and guidance, but we have to earn it. We have to want it. We have to work towards it. It will bring us the peace if we take it in. It will deny us peace if we don't sit in meditation, if we don't connect with the balance at our root itself. So how does Taurus call upon this peace? How does Taurus call upon the peace the moon is offering? How does Taurus call upon the peace the moon is offering? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Don't let pride get in the way. Ask for peace. Ask for guidance. Meditate. Contemplate. When you're meditating, sitting there in the power of the breath and just say, moon guide me, moon guide me. See what comes up. It sounds like a silly chant, but any sort of clearing away and clearing out of our own minds and embracing the power of ourselves and our ideas and our connection with the world, that really starts to amplify us. And that's really going to be powerful for us. So let's see here. How does this king energy in the public arena guide Taurus forward? How does this king energy in the public arena guide Taurus forward? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Ooh. It brings the high priestess. It takes the veil out from in front of our eyes. It says, no longer am I going to be living in lies. No longer am I going to be living for other people's truths or ideas or what people are feeding me. I'm being seen. I'm bold. I'm brave. But I'm also quietly preparing for my own success, for my own bounty, to push the envelope and to embrace the next step in this journey, to embrace the next part of the power. And that's going to call me forward in a way that I hadn't anticipated. With the veil being lifted from our eyes, it can be very overwhelming. Now, with the king's energy here, it's like, I can handle this. I can handle calling out the liars. I can handle, knowing who to trust and knowing who not to trust. Do I like it? No, I really don't. But can I do it? Yes. And that's a powerful place to be, because a lot of times when the high priestess comes forward, the veil is lifted, or at least a layer of the veil is lifted. And we start to see things more truthfully, more honestly. But we also start to become way more spiritually connected. And it can be very overwhelming for us. This is a time where the king's energy, it balances that. But it also says, I know my ducks. I know who I am. I know what I want. And I know the way that I'm pushing forward. How does the moon make us powerful in the public arena? How does the moon make Taurus powerful in the public arena? How does the moon make Taurus powerful in the public arena? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. It helps us assess our boundaries. It does. It helps us assess our boundaries. It helps us know our limitations, but also know where we kind of cut our own wings. We're looking at the situation through new eyes because we're seeing things in a new light, through new power. And then, what does the moon let us see that we were missing before? What does the moon let us see? What does the moon let Taurus see that we were missing before? What does the moon let Taurus see that we were missing before? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Taurus, the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. It lets us see us more clearly, more powerfully, more focusedly. Our dreams need a powerful plan, a practical plan, a plan that has us on the earth, rooted, but also embracing the sensual, the unexpected, the erotic, the beautiful, the boundary pushing. Our dreams need a practical plan because we are practical people and our dreams are all-encompassingly beautiful. Okay. So let's see the energy that we are to be mindful of, Taurus. What is the energy that Taurus is to be mindful of during the May 2021 full moon? What is the energy that Taurus is to be mindful of during the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Queen of Wands, being caught up in the fire. And that's what the moon warns against here. Being caught up in the fire, being caught up in the passion, thinking it's all about the creation, the expansion, the fire of it. When we get caught up, when you get caught up in the passion in life and we think, oh, one high note after the other, and we just chase that rush, that's what we have to be mindful of here, okay? Our subconscious chakra message is truth. This is the throat chakra. We have to trust our truth. Sagittarius is really big on that. It is truth and understanding, and it is the trust of that truth to guide us, to empower us, to embolden us. It leads us to our subconscious moon message, which is balance. Just like our chakra message, we need that balance. We call for that balance. We long for that balance to come in. The moon starts putting things in balance because we start seeing things differently. We start, kind of looking at things in a new light and facing fears, facing doubts, and it puts things upside down. And yet we're seeing things right side up. So spiritually, emotionally, we're seeing things one way, we're seeing things another way through our everyday, eyes. And all of a sudden, they come together. And it's like, oh, that's the missing piece of the puzzle. And then we go deeper, and it says, your commitments are being tested. Yes, because what it is that we desire are being tested. So what we are committed to emotionally, spiritually, practically, powerfully is being tested. Our subconscious person message is the death card. We need to be mindful. Mindful energy, mindful of this energy message is we need to be mindful of the transformation. We need to be mindful of also feeling apathetic, nihilistic, thinking, oh, well, what meaning does it have? It has all the meaning in the world. There's a sense of walking between worlds during this time, the spiritual and the practical, and not letting that be a bad thing, because we can think it is a bad thing when it really is an enlightening thing. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Two of Swords, the two pathways that we thought that's all we had. Now there are more pathways that are opening. There's a greater understanding guiding us. It moves us then to the subconscious message of this whole entire time. Everything's changing. We're being pushed out of our comfort zone, or we have been pushed out of our comfort zone so often that as we start to embrace our passion and our power, as we start to kind of come together, we might think, oh, when's the next shoe going to drop? When is this all going to fall apart? We've been pushed to a point where it doesn't feel comfortable. But this is the exact point that Spirit wants us to be at, because it's the exact point that we springboard off of and we grow from. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the beauty of this moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.